All right, so I got Spirited Away, got the facts, got the names. These names are going to be impossible to pronounce, but I
Oh yeah.
think that's shoot. Oh wait, hold on. I I forgot something. I'll be
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back. You stall
Oh,
them.
okay. Oh, I guess I'm stalling. Well, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Single J Studios. Today I'm your host, Jonathan Tamawama, and uh yeah. So today we're talking about Spirited Away, I think. Made back in 2000, in the 2000s, and yeah. So a funny story. The actual host kind of took a temporary leave, so I'm just waiting for him to return. Now, personally, Spirited Away was one of my favorite Ghibli movies. If given the choice between Kiki's Delivery Service and Spirited Away, I would obviously choose Spirited Away more. Okay, welcome back.
I'm back. Sorry, I had to. Anthony's been wanting to do podcasts again, but no. But his time will come later. He's not.
Ah.
He's not available for the foreseeable future. So, all right. Jonathan, you did the opening, right?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. All right. So, I'll just catch everyone up then. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Triple J Studios podcast. Not to be confused with the other lesser known Single J, which is Jonathan's up and coming podcast. Jonathan, you want to tell us what that's about?
Uh, Sounds.
Great.
Not ASMR.
just imagine like people, because some people listen to podcasts in cars. Just imagine you're driving down the highway. It's like, man, I need something relaxing. And welcome back, everyone, to the ASMR podcast.
You just
That would be
tortured
terrible.
like all your fans.
Oh, you're welcome. I don't know. ASMR is not something we're
Weird.
talking about. So, yeah, welcome back, everyone. So, as Jonathan was mentioning, we're going to be talking about Spirited Away, which I did overhear you talking about how it was early 2000s. You are correct in the fact that it was in 2001. So, this film is older than me by a couple months. It came out July 20th, 2001.
Oh, so this movie is literally like what? I was born in November.
You got this.
Uh,
Believe in you.
5 months? No, July.
August, September, October,
January,
November.
February, March, April, May, June, July. 5 months.
There you go.
No, just kidding.
Okay. But so, yeah, either way, it's older than both of us. And the film, I personally, because we both already have seen the film, this was not my first Studio Ghibli film. Have you seen any other Studio Ghibli film
I
before this?
have. I've seen Castle in the Sky. I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service. I've seen, of course, Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm planning to watch more. Oh, Ponyo 2.
Yeah, that was my first one. That was the one
Ponyo was
that,
your first one?
yeah, I
Kiki's
think
Delivery Service was my first Ghibli movie.
that's been one I've been wanting to see for a while. So that'll probably be my next one that I'd want to see. But
Ah.
overall, after seeing this one, and for a while, I thought that this was their first film that they
It
made.
wasn't.
It wasn't. It was, oh my gosh, what was it? I had to pull it up. Oh no, Valley of the Wind. That one came out in 1984. But do you have any idea how to pronounce that?
If you're so you're throwing Nasuka of the Valley of the Wind. I said
Sure.
that super wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, that was the first one that they made. Oh, and before I forget to mention, this is something that might blow your mind, but if the glitches from this haven't given it away, Jonathan and I are not in the same room with each other. Virtual high five.
Yeah. Social
Um,
distancing.
social distancing. So unfortunately, it can be difficult. But after seeing the Emmys from last night, which Jonathan, I know you didn't see, but what they did was they essentially did a giant Zoom call with 114 people
Oh,
of the nominees, put them in like giant Zoom call, and then did the Emmys still. So like there was no audience members or anything like that, but figured they can do it. I can do it with one person. So this is just
nice.
kind of going to be like a test run. We're going to see how it goes, see how it
What
does,
we need
and
to
then
improve on.
yeah, and then hopefully if this works and it doesn't like it's the same amount of effort, then we can make more of these types of podcasts and they can come out quicker. So
Yeah.
that's the whole goal. So yeah, overall, something interesting I thought about Studio Ghibli was that their first film came out in 1984, but they weren't founded until 1985.
Oh.
Yeah, and then which kind of makes sense.
So did he just do this? He made his first movie. Oh, by the way, Hayao Miyazaki, the director,
Yeah.
well, produced by and written by Hayao Miyazaki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Spirited Away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki was one of the longest artists, I want to say. I think he retired recently, but also like came out of retirement
He
too.
came out of retirement to work on another film called How Do You Live, which I think is coming up, but hopefully it's a good film because I've seen a couple of people come out of retirement and then make a really bad film and then go back to retirement because they're like,
it's
it never came out.
it's just an excuse, Jared, to make a bad movie.
It's fine. Yeah. They're like, this will build hype for it if I go into retirement. But yeah, so going back to Spirited Away, this film was actually from John Lasseter, the person that worked at Pixar. He was a big major help for this kind of film. So he helped a lot with the getting Spirited Away over to America and getting it dubbed and
And
like
that's why
working with
whenever
Walt
you buy the
Disney.
Blu-ray, and that's why whenever you buy the Blu-ray thing, you always see him talk about Studio Ghibli itself and how Hayao Miyazaki is the director for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It,
Yeah, that's he did that in Ponyo too, where he
hmm
just kind of opened the film going,
I think he
"Hi."
does it with all the Blu-ray CDs sold in America, I think. Because
Oh,
Disney also helps like distribute, I want to say, Spirited Away.
yeah,
Well, just all Ghibli films.
they help a lot with the distribution rights and getting it all over the place. And something I found out too is why we can't like just watch these types of films on like Netflix or something in America. In
They are
2019,
strict.
they're strict. In 2019, Studio Ghibli was talking about they don't really want to put their films digitalized because then it makes it, and it makes sense. It makes it more easily accessible, so it takes away from the film, which kind of
Mm,
makes sense. But then I believe it was Woody Allen who was talking about like, no, it won't just be in one place. It'll be like all around the world kind of thing. So you can even do it in Japan. They went, okay. And now it's available on like HBO and other places. But like a lot of the Studio Ghibli films are also available on the Netflixes around the world,
oh,
but not America. We get it
well,
on HBO.
I didn't know that you could get it on HBO. I just thought you could only get it on CD through
No, but now
Blu-ray.
you know HBO is the one place you need it. No, I
Not
wish.
sponsored.
I wish one day that'd be great. But
hmm
but yeah, overall, and also a lot of updates today. But welcome everyone listening to the Amazon point of view. This is going to be the first podcast or podcast episode that gets released out there. So I wanted to give a special hello. I'm Jared. This is Jonathan.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, what's up? We hope all of you are doing well. But yeah, you can now listen to this podcast on, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Audible. So yeah, it's just a little
A
update for
lot of
everyone else is doing any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, now
Nope.
we can talk about the film. So
So you
yep, Jonathan,
first.
take it. No, take it away.
So personally, I thought this film was kind of a cute movie. I really, really like the art style. Like they really took time and effort to. I know for a fact they took time and effort to draw all these. Because correct me if I'm wrong, they did hand draw all their films, right?
I believe they did, and a lot of it, a lot of what made this film stand out was most likely the art style, because you, you figure in like America, you mainly had, if you wanted an animated film, you went to Disney. If you wanted more of a mature film, you went to Universal or Fox.
That's very true.
And this was also a time when, because what, you're just coming out of the 90s, so you're getting a lot of more like
James
you're going to
Bond.
James Bond. You're getting more of the films of you go to the theaters specifically for either children or adults. You don't really have anything mid-ground.
There's no middle ground.
No, there's no like, if you're elderly, you go to the movie theater for this. If you're a teenager, you go to a movie theater for this. This, I think, was one of a film that everyone could go and watch.
I agree with that statement because you could. This film didn't have anything bad, but it also explored some topics. Like
It did, yeah, and a lot of it did have to do with like more Japan, because like the film came from Japan, so it focuses a lot on more like Japanese central stuff
yeah.
than like more
Well,
like
of course,
American audiences would know. Yeah,
that's where the
so
film developed.
right, so it makes sense that like people that wanted to learn more about the culture, this might be a good introduction
Hmm.
kind of idea. So
So I think a first good place to start off is where let's talk about the characters.
yeah, I think that's a
Do you
good
want to start
place.
off? Uh, oh, by the way, spoilers will be in this podcast. So if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a great movie.
I love that we always have to tell people that there will be spoilers in a film talk in a podcast talking about films.
I mean, they had
um,
what 19 years to go watch the movie. I think there's no excuse at that point.
no, it's
But
like you clicked into this, you know who you're like, what kind of film you're coming in to watch.
yeah,
So yeah, our main character. It, by the way, we're going to butcher it. There is no we do.
Chihiro,
We are not sorry. We're just gonna
Chihiro,
butcher it. Chihiro Ogino.
Chihiro.
Chihiro Ogino. That's gonna be our main character. I think she's 10 in the film. We have, oh geez, Haku.
Yep, Haku.
Haku. He's kind of got like the he's a dragon.
He's a dragon who works for Yubaba. So
Mhm.
basically, the
Another
whole
character.
which is another character. Yubaba is a witch, and if I'm not mistaken, Yubaba is another name for like some. I remember like some Middle Eastern tale about Yubaba being a witch or something.
It might be. I am doing
You want
research
to
on that
fact check
now.
me on that one?
Yeah, but I keep typing you ba ba ba.
Yubaba Middle Eastern. Type that in. Middle East.
Oh, Middle Eastern.
That's yeah.
Everyone enjoying these typing sounds?
I guess I
There's
was
a
wrong.
cafe.
I guess I was wrong. Yubaba's a
I don't know.
cafe though.
I wonder what they're serving. They're in Athens.
That is
Huh.
definitely not Middle
Athens,
East.
Greece. Price range $8 to 5 stars.
28 reviews.
28
though.
reviews. That's pretty good review. The wine was extraordinary and so worth it. WROTH. The waitresses were amazing and so helpful.
I'm having concerns from that review.
Yeah, why? All right. So anyway, we're getting off topic again. So let's go back and as we talk about the film, we'll get into it. So, yep, I was right. Chihiro, who is 10 years old, and her parents, they're moving. They're going to their new home, and right away you can tell, going back to the art style, phenomenal. It looks pleasing to look at. It doesn't look fake. It doesn't.
The colors are vibrant.
It
When
yeah,
they
like
need to be, they're dark when they need to be, and they also fit the mood. They
that's
always
just it.
fit the mood.
Is it doesn't feel like live action, but it doesn't feel like animation.
Yeah, I would say more of a realism approach, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't call it realism because again, it looks more anime than anything.
Yeah, but that Yeah, later on in the film, it's like I'm gonna take back that statement. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so they're going to their new home, and they take a wrong turn. They find themselves in front of a mysterious tunnel, and they find they're at an abandoned Disney World amusement park.
Secret
My bad.
tunnel, secret
Which
tunnel.
always leads to great things.
I mean, yeah, yeah, it does sometimes.
You ever
Some
see Who
Avatar.
Framed Roger Rabbit? Avatar?
Mm.
Mysterious tunnels lead to great places.
Yep.
So Chihira's father, he's like, well, I'm the man. So he goes into the tunnel and the mom follows. And they both really do look like they're just on vacation. Like they're
You want to
just for
explain that tunnel? There's more to that tunnel.
there's more to the tunnel.
Yeah, remember?
All right, go ahead, talk about the tunnel.
So the tunnel is basically the transportation between the hotel world with all the magical people, and if you got stuck there at nighttime, you basically couldn't survive there. You would become an animal or worker or something, or stop existing. I can't quite remember. So this leads uh, Chihiro to go talk to the witch Yubaba, which who hires Chihiro to work for her, thus not making her non-existent anymore. Does that help?
Yes, but time
Because
out. Is it Chihiro or Chihiro?
I think it's Chihiro.
All right, so then Chero,
Chihiro.
Chihiro,
Chihiro.
yeah, sure. But backing up real quick. So yeah, essentially Jonathan's right with the tunnel is almost like a bridge from the normal world that we all live in to like this big magical land. But before we get to the hotel, they're
Mhm.
kind of just walking around this empty place and already like the music is starting to pick up a little bit
It's a
of like
huge festival area, but the weird thing is, no one's there. However,
right.
there's all this fresh food there.
So they're like, all right.
All right,
And
free food just sitting here. If no one's here, I'll guess I'll just eat it.
which I have
I,
no, there's no way
I've
that
never
anyone would
met a
think that.
person who walked on the side of in the middle of a carnival saying, "Oh look, free food. No one's
Right on.
fine."
Yeah, it's like why would you not question? I have no idea, but it there's a lot in this film that's like, what? All right,
Well,
proceed, keep going. Um,
what works, what works, I guess.
yeah, so they begin to eat it, except for Chihiro, and she's just kind of walking around, just doing her own thing, and then this is where we're introduced to Haku, who's just like a guy. At
Hmm.
this point in the film, he's just a random dude who's the only other character that we've seen. So automatically, that means he's a main character and he has to be important.
Exactly.
Exactly. So he goes like, "You got to get back across that riverbed before sunset." Doesn't explain why. Just goes, "You gotta."
It
And
does because that's when all the spirits come out. They come out at night.
no, it makes sense. But but did he ever say that? Because I just remember him
He
saying,
does.
Okay,
He does.
all right."
And he
So
told.
oh,
Oh,
that's right. Because then Chihiro runs back to her parents.
let's rewind a little bit. So basically, what happens is, uh, Chihiro's parents become quite literal pigs because
Oink oink.
the food turned them into pigs because the food was enchanted, and for that to stay in that land after sunset and not die, basically, you have to eat something from there. But that means you can't go back once the sun sets.
Right.
Why
So it's a
Chihiro couldn't leave.
because then or else she kind of just turns into a spirit kind of idea.
Yep.
You keep talking for a second. I want to look up if this is actually based on something.
Okay. So basically, as I said earlier, this leads Haku to take Chihiro to go see Yubaba the witch, and so Yubaba is like the main. I want to say the antagonist in the movie,
Who
kind
is?
of. Yubaba.
Yeah, pretty much. She's the main driving force that's forcing her to.
Stay and help out, I guess.
I guess it's Oh my
it's
gosh, this film is just like Animal Crossing. The See, so Yubaba says, "All right, you're stuck here pretty much. So you're in my hotel or bathhouse, as they
and
refer
it's
to it as.
nighttime, so you can't leave, and you
Y-
will disappear if you basically don't work for me because I'll turn you into pig and throw you with your parents basically. And keep in mind they killed the pigs there for food
Right.
because they throw them in a farm. And so basically to keep her parents alive, Chihiro strikes a deal with the witch, losing part of her name. And so the deal was if she could remember her name, she could basically be free. So the witch changes her name to Sen, which they just removed one
They
character
remove.
from their Japanese name,
Hmm.
which I wish I knew Japanese characters because then I could say which one. But
On it. We have Google for this.
we got Google Translate, but Japanese characters are finicky.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Hmm.
have no idea what any of this means. This is a mobile app.
So
Chihiro means mobile. Huh.
that's from China.
Mobile terminal.
That's from Chinese, Jared.
Oh wait, Japan. Now translate. Google, do your thing. It's still a mobile terminal.
But anyways, the main
Anyway,
point being it's Sen.
yes. So her new name is Sen, and Hakugo's like, "Hey, I forgot my name." So he's not able to leave until he remembers his name.
Oh, that's that's another thing. Uh, Chihiro must always remember her name so she can leave the spirit world.
Right. Or else she'll just be stuck there pretty
Yeah.
much and always having to work. So she keeps going around, and this is essentially when we're introduced to a lot of different characters. Um, the main one of the characters I wanted to talk about, and I want to make sure that I get this guy right. Spirited Away Spider Guy. What was his name? He looks like
Kamaji?
Dr. Egghead. Yeah,
Kamaji?
Kamaji. Yeah, him. It seems like him and Lin um, really care about Chihiro
Hmm.
in the sense, like at the beginning, they're like, a little pest. But throughout the film, Lin kind of starts to go, like, okay, she's just learning. She's still here. And she is voiced by the same person that voiced Meg in Hercules,
I
which,
can't I
hmm?
can't remember her name.
Oh, me neither, but I just know the voice. Um, Meg, Susan Egan.
Oh.
This person. So yeah, that was just kind of like a fun little thing that I'm like, oh, I recognize that voice. Um, and on her first day, pretty much of Chihiro working, she's introduced to two main characters, or sorry, two new customers that enter. One being the most famous person in the entire film of No Face. Yay!
Yay.
Everyone loves him. He's on your shirt. He's on your shoes. He's on your socks. He's on your
He's
AirPod case.
everywhere
He's on the
in the
cloud.
Disney. He's everywhere in Disney Epcot Tokyo, I think,
Holy
or
cow,
Japan.
he's everywhere. And before then, I even knew who he was. But when I saw him in here, I'm like, oh, finally, we get to learn more about him.
Oh, by the way, we're
Um,
going to just refer to him as No Face because there is no way we are pronouncing his name right.
Not even trying. Not. He's gonna no face. That's what everyone knows him as. So I'm not gonna call him anything else. But he's the dude with the mask. So, but we're also introduced to the Stink Spirit, who's like this big old. Who's that Pokemon that's just all dirt?
Well, let me just explain to you. He looks like an old man who's literally on death's door.
One
You
foot in the
can't.
grave.
You cannot tell me I'm wrong. His his
He's got a
face.
mustache and everything too.
He has. He's all wrinkly. He looks like a dried potato.
No, not stink. Spirit. Yeah, he. Oh my gosh, it's like a band. Yeah, no, he's Yeah, when he goes into, like, before he goes into the tub, he's just this big old glob. And then afterwards, he's this old man who's a skeleton with giant eyebrows.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, since he's in the spirit world, does that mean he's already dead?
I don't know. All I remember is he just comes up and he goes, "Well done," and then he leaves.
The gif you have right there, Jared, truly terrifies me.
What about this one that says, "Well done"?
Well, that doesn't help either.
Here, fine, Ghost in the Shell. There you go.
I've never
Nope, that's
seen.
just Chihiro drowning.
Wait a minute.
That's fine. When she was getting cleaned from
The
the
ghost
water
in a
guy.
shell.
Hmm.
Foreshadowing.
Chihiro is no. I've seen that film too.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It went over my head.
back to the story.
So yeah, so Chihiro finds a way to clean the stink spirit, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And sure enough, he starts to give out a whole bunch of money as like gratitude kind of thing, and he goes like, "Here's some money for all of you," and No Face goes like, "Oh, all right. Well, he left the money, so he's now tempting the workers with the gold of their greed, and then he eats one of the workers. This is when
That's
I
no
realized that
face.
yes, yeah,
That we're
that's who I'm
talking
talking
about
about.
the water spirit still.
You mean the stink spirit?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, he got cleaned,
Mm-hmm.
and
And,
then they gave
and
him
then
money.
and then you forgot that Sen got the little orb from the river spirit after. Oh.
Oh yeah, he's just got like a yeah. No, I'm looking up Emetic, and it's like I guess because yeah,
Vomiting
he
is involuntary. Forceful.
forceful expulsion of the contents of one's stomach through the mouth and sometimes the nose. That's never happened to me before.
Well, I don't
The
want to
nose, I
know.
mean. But on the other hand, a dumpling is a broad classification for a dish. So yeah, Sen's given a magic thrown up dumpling, which is it's just like an orb kind of thing. Does that do anything
It,
for the rest of the film?
remember, it helps Haku later on when
Mm,
he's badly injured.
that's right. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't think you need to throw it up. So yeah, then we're back
I
on
mean, you're
pace with.
swallowing an orb. I hope your gag reflex works.
um, so yeah, and then No Face is tricking the workers with the gold left by the stink spirit after he leaves. And he goes like, "All right, give me some food, and I'll give you all the money you want," kind of idea. So he's using greed um, as kind of like his weapon,
As his drive.
as his drive. Yeah.
And
So
as the film progresses, another thing to point out is, well, at the beginning, No Face was No Face. He was nobody, but Sen realized who No Face was. Like, it was the first time, so No Face follows Sen into the
mhm.
hotel and basically hides until water spirit. But as the film progresses, you also see No Face like becoming a complete monster. Like, he
He
at
gets
first he
big.
seems like this harmless spirit, but then greed comes in and he's like, oh, he's like all of a sudden this fat monster that wants to kill. He's craving. He
Pretty
just
much,
wants
yeah.
to be rich.
It's his weapon is turning against him. Of
Yeah.
his greed that he was using is now he's like, well, I'm using greed to get greed, and thus using more greed, I'll get more greed kind of idea. So he gets big, and Chihiro keeps trying to figure out really who he is and why he's so like interested with everything, which makes me wonder if he's tried this before. Probably not. But so does that mean he's like what kind of spirit is No Face?
Honestly, if we're going to refer to like Japan's culture and spirits, I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe if somebody knows, could you let us know so that
Yeah.
we can
If you
talk
figure
about it?
out who it is or what it is, post it down in the comment section below.
Yeah, because we do want to know, and I could do research, but then I'd probably find like this one that like nobody talks about, and it would be completely wrong. So yeah, if you guys know, let us know. Um, but yeah, a little bit later on in the film, uh, Sen starts to see like some paper little like birds flying around the big old Japanese dragon, and she recognizes that it's Haku. Somehow, I don't know how. She
It,
just knew.
it was just that instinctive feeling of a protagonist.
Oh no, that's a main character.
That's an
So
important character. We can't kill him off yet.
yeah, there you go. So yeah, Haku pretty much just rams straight into the penthouse or the bathhouse. I mean, and Sen goes upstairs and he's like, I'll save you. And this is when one of the little paper birds comes out of the backpack, and it's revealed to be Zeniba, Zumba, um, Yubaba's twin sister. So she transforms into her son, Bo. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. She transforms Yubaba's son, who's Bo, a big old giant baby thing.
Brat baby, for some reason.
Has
He's
anyone
massive.
have you seen Gravity Falls?
I have.
Remember
The
Time
giant
Baby?
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much same idea. And she turns him into a big old mouse because she makes a comment of like, now your body represents the size of your brain or something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. The writing in this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
um, and then Yubaba's little harpy turns into a little bird. And Zambaya says to Sen, like, all right, Haku, we don't want to let you know, but he stole a magical seal.
He did a no-no.
He did a no-no, and I'm going to be
against
honest.
his will, though.
Right. And when I heard seal, I first thought, like, the animal. I'm like,
So,
good. All right.
so correct me if I'm wrong, but seals are still used today in like Japan as like an official document. Like if you're stamping like like instead of a social security card, like in the US, they have stamps
Mm-hmm.
in Japan. I don't know if that's still up to date, but I think it might be.
I believe they do still use seals. I'm not 100% sure because I feel like that would almost make news if they just decided not to. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just looking really quick, like skimming. There's nothing here that says they just got rid of it. This kind of looks like the Uniqlo logo.
it does.
Probably where they got it from. But yeah, there's nothing on here that says they just got rid of it. Um, but yeah, so he stole a seal so he did the bad. He did the no.
And then he got cursed.
Yeah, so kind of like this film's like other films or franchises, kind of like Moana when he stole the heart of Tafiki.
Mm-hmm.
So Haku goes and he destroys the, oh my gosh, Shikigami?
Shikigami.
Shikigami, yep. And that gets rid of Zembea's little manifestation, little problem, little issue.
I think Shikigamis are like Grim Reapers in Japanese culture. You want to look that one up real quick?
Yeah, I want to look that up real quick because I don't. Shinigami is the term for a being from Japanese folklore. It is thought to be of some sort of kami, represented by a small ghost. The belief of Shamagami originates from Anmayado.
Oh, by the way, kami means god in Japanese, I believe.
I like that the third image too is from Spirited Away when you look this up. Oh, these are weird pictures. Not bad. There's just like
weird
ghosts.
I get it.
Huh. But where were we? So yeah, so they fall into the boiler room, which is where Kajami and Lin are. They're making sure that all the coal and heat goes to the whole building and water.
Making sure everything's heated.
Right.
They work in the boiler room.
Right. Yeah, it's a boiler room. So then Sen, Bo, and the Harpy, they all go down. They make him vomit up the seal.
Mm-hmm.
and a little black slug, so kind of like Stranger Things. And Sun kills her with her foot.
Yep. And
Okay,
apparently it's bad luck to touch that stuff.
right. Which I guess she would know.
I mean, she wouldn't know. She would. She's new to this whole spirit thing, spirit voodoo magic.
Yeah. So, what happens next?
What happens next is basically, um, Haku says to stay away from him, basically, so the witch doesn't, Yubaba doesn't suspect of anything. I can't. Now this is where my memory gets fuzzy.
So yeah, you are right with uh, Haku. He's like still waking up because he's still like coming back from
I
throwing
mean,
up
he
and
got
all of it.
injured. He did get injured.
Oh yeah, he did. So while he's coming to, he wants to go and return the seal and apologize. But during that time, Sen also goes and tries to talk, like have like a actual conversation with No Face, who's like
Mm-hmm.
this big blob kind of idea, and no, she feeds him the dumpling that was given before, that was thrown up, and No Face follows Sen out of the bathhouse, and he starts like throwing up everything that he was eating. So like the people and the food.
Yeah, all the other spirits.
Right.
Oh yeah, because the little orb thing, uh, sent through that into No Face's mouth to, and that's what caused him to start throwing up everything. Because
Mhm.
he's a bad luck spirit or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm trying to, because we're getting to the point where a lot of people are going to correct me when I'm wrong. Not if, but when. Oh my
Oh yeah.
gosh. But the whole idea is that if you want to go and talk to Senbei, you need to go onto this train. Everyone's like, okay, we'll get on the train, which is a train on water. And
Chuggington.
Chuggington. And this scene seems to be one of the most influential scenes from this film. Like whenever I like talk to people about this film or make mention of it, they always seem to talk about this train scene and what it means. What does it mean to you from what you remembered?
So the first time I watched the movie, I'm not gonna lie, I thought of it as nothing. I'm like, hurry up with the plot progression. I am really, really oblivious to things. That is just my honest to that's those are just my honest words.
Hmm.
But
No, and yeah, that makes sense. First time I watched it, I was like, I don't understand it. And it didn't seem to really,
stick out.
it didn't stick out to me as much as people were like, it's amazing. It's like, it didn't do anything for me
Yeah.
the first time.
I mean, I only watched the movie once, so
Well, that's why I'm here.
if
No.
this was Kiki Delivery Service though, however, I've watched that movie so many times due to my little sisters.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the second time I watched it, it did kind of start to make sense of this is the real first downtime that Shahira's had in the film. So
Where she
when
could do
she's-
anything she wanted.
right. So it's kind of like I'm trying to word it because like Jonathan, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like there's like different ghosts and stuff back here. And I was always wondering who are these people supposed to be? Like, what are they? What do they represent? Because they also have shadows, and it doesn't make sense the first time that you watch it. But after, like, and I did talking with some people too about why all of this. And apparently, these are supposed to be not spirits, but memories from Chihiro,
Oh, I had no idea about that.
which is not what I would have thought. But these are like either like family members or friends that she had from her from her old home.
Yeah, wasn't Chihiro sad about moving?
Yeah, she was. She was somewhat excited, but not like
She
thrilled.
wasn't exasperated.
Yeah, it's kind of like when, like, if you were to move somewhere, it's like, yeah, you're excited to see the new place, but you're also sad of leaving everything. So this is supposed to be like the mid ground where these are her memories of them. But again, I don't know how true that is. So it seems like this film is essentially, or this scene is essentially, take it as whatever you want it to be,
Yeah.
pretty much. But it
It's
still
up to
looks
your
pretty,
own interpretation.
right? Which is fine. But I don't know. I
mean,
feel like
the art style really does pop out, but for me, I personally didn't get anything out of it. I didn't
right,
personally
yeah.
see.
Right. So maybe another thing you can leave down in the comments after you find out No Face. What did the scene mean to you? Like, do you think it was boring? Did you have like a new? Was your mind just blown up, or like?
Did you
What
get sent
happened? We
into
want to
an
know what happened.
existential crisis?
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. So it's all up to you. But either way, they go and meet Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Then Xenobot. And they apologize, and she's like, oh, it's fine. And this is where the quote that I really liked was, you really, and I think this is almost like one of the messages for the film is, you really don't forget anybody. It's just, they're still in your mind.
They're always there.
Yeah,
always
they just take a little, always watch it. Yeah, Roz is always in the back of my head. But yeah, I'm trying to find like the specific quote real quick. Yeah, once you've met someone, you never really forget them. It just takes a while for your memories to return. And it's like, I like that, because that's just kind of like, it's wholesome compared to like the time when they were throwing up everything, or the confusing train scene. But
or Turnip Man going into the bath.
Yeah.
Remember that? That was awkward.
That's the guy with the mustache.
That 1 minute scene of just like Chihiro standing next to Turnip Man or Daikon Radish.
And it's just Daikon 1 minute.
Spirit.
And it's not a long scene. But it's there. It's in the film.
It's a lengthy part.
Yeah. It goes on and on. It's half the film. But yeah, so Zeniba then goes like, oh, like, I know why, like, because Haku goes, like, oh,
I figured out my name.
I remembered my name. Whoa. And it's like, and everyone's like, why? Zebea goes, oh, well, Sen's love for him broke the curse. Yay.
No, Sen just reminded, no, Chihiro now.
Chihiro, because, yeah, now she remembers her name.
Yep. And then...
Cool.
You know, let's just skip a couple of scenes. Let's skip straight to the end, like the ending.
The reason why is because, I gotta word this right, or else people.
What important happened?
Yeah, nothing really happened in this scene other than it's revealed that Haku's real name is, he's the spirit of the river.
Yeah.
Cool. It didn't make me like him or dislike him any less than before.
I mean, Haku, in my opinion, was a very neutral character.
Yeah, he was there and he helped. Like, he did his part and he left. And I like that.
He was neutral about this whole matter.
Mm-hmm. Like, he had his own story going on.
He's the good guy, but putting this in like D&D terms, he was like neutral good.
Neutral good, yeah.
Like, you know, like chaotic evil, he's like neutral good.
Chihiro would probably be like lawfully good.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Lawfully neutral, somewhere around there.
No, not lawful. No, I wouldn't say lawfully. I would say just good.
Just neutral, just good. Good character. But yeah, nothing really happens in that scene mainly. But they go back to the bathhouse and Yubaba goes, okay, Sen. Or
You're
Chihiro.
faced with the choice. Live or die.
Do you take the red pill? Forget. But she goes, okay, your parents are here and they're still pigs. And if you remember, if you know which one of them are your parents, you can go home. And Sen, after like maybe 10 to 15 seconds, goes, none of them are my parents.
Those ones. Well, off to the slaughterhouse they go.
Wrong answer. But, yeah, so it turns out that none of the pigs are her parents, and she gets to go home, and everyone on the island goes, "Oh, thank goodness!" And they all cheer. They're like, "Yay!"
And then they're suddenly teleported outside as
Yeah, well,
humans.
they go to the they just pretty much walk back, and Chihiro goes back through the tunnel with her parents. They don't remember anything after they ate at the restaurant stall, and then they go home.
Chihiro turns back to look at the tunnel.
Yep, and then they go back to their new home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Spirited Away. So
That was Spirited Away in our point of view. Let's be honest.
it's gonna differ for everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, which I really like. It's like when you watch Finding Nemo, it's one story and
See,
everything makes sense.
See, look. Take me and Jared for example. I didn't
going
like
with?
Finding Nemo. I like the characters. Like Crush the Turtle. He is my absolute favorite character. And Squirt. Those are my favorite characters. But the whole like Finding Nemo wasn't my exact favorite. Like wasn't I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but just wasn't the greatest movie. Now Jared over here, well, I know for a fact will argue that.
Love it. It's amazing.
He loves the movie.
It's fantastic. But no, I get what you mean too. Of like I am most notorious for not liking Spaceballs. But you did?
I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't? Cool. So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Cool. I remember when that podcast came out, a lot of my friends were like, "What do you mean you don't like? You need to watch it again." It's like, I refuse. There's no way.
No.
No. So
and plus I never really watched it. I just fell asleep in class. Sorry, Mr. Patterson.
I just fell asleep.
I'm sorry. I woke up late that day.
Yeah, I mean, it was whatever. This isn't about that. But overall, what would you say is like the moral of the story? What did you take away from Spirited Away?
Don't get greedy is one of them. And another thing I got out of Spirited Away was remember who you are, because you are who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Be someone you're proud to be.
But the whole film is kind of focusing on like self-discovery of like who you are as a person and how you fit in, especially when
thrown in with magic.
Thrown in with magic, or you're just thrown into like a new kind of area. So like I'm sure like because I've talked about this on the show before, but there's a lot of people around the world that will listen to this podcast, and that's really cool. Like the first time I saw that we had someone in Egypt, hi Egypt, listen, I was like, that's amazing. But like the people that are living in Egypt or Australia or even in like different parts of America, they're all going to have a different story to tell. They're all going to be telling a different story. So probably the thing that I took away with is just like do your own thing. Have your own story. If you're scared of something, then just do it. Have like a different point of view.
Stay scared of it forever.
Terrified. Just don't try anything. No, but like just try new things. Just try anything because you don't know how it'll turn out. So out of 10
radishes.
Radishes. How many radishes would you give this?
I would give it 7. I'm fairly stingy on mine.
No, that makes sense. Why would you give it 7 radishes?
I mean, at some points of the movie, it just felt slow, but other parts, the characters were enjoyable. Haku seemed very neutral. And the voice acting for the English one, I wasn't a fan of their voices. Does that make sense? Don't get me wrong, I don't hate them. But I don't feel like the voices should have matched the characters.
I will say there were 2 things that I found that were interesting. There was extra dialogue added for the English version so that it would make more sense. And then
Oh. So
someone, I forgot who,
the story
said
got diluted for us.
pretty much, but someone said a quote that was like, why would you take away the magic of
The movie.
translating it to English when you could just watch the Japanese version?
I mean, that's true. Hey,
Makes
that
sense.
means that's just an excuse to watch the movie 2 times.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
the
see
problem
the
is,
difference.
it's kind of hard to find the Japanese version,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Just take the script,
how
translate it to
co-
Japanese.
I mean, you said they added extra dialogue, and you know how well Google Translates works. Come on, translate Smash Mouth into 3 different languages,
Yeah.
and then put it back into English and see what you get.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this an 8 turnips. Reason why is just because I really enjoyed the film.
Radishes?
Radishes, my bad, Animal Crossing. But the no, I just really liked the message that the film was telling, and there were I was with you with at points some things did feel slow, or I forgot about certain things like the little orb thing he threw up and how that was important to the film because it didn't make sense.
That was actually pretty important.
It was, but in the back of my head, I didn't remember that scene. So we were just like, oh, there's a thing, okay. But overall, the characters I still enjoyed. They were so fun to watch.
They were very enjoyable characters. Very, very sentimental characters, too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that is our review and talk through of Spirited Away. So we hope you all enjoyed. I feel like we should have like a really big ending for the Amazon listeners, for the people that are, because this is day 3 we're recording on it where the Amazon podcast section is opened.
Well, let me say something for YouTube. For our YouTube viewers out there, make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so you can see when we are live. Also, if you have a movie you want us to watch or review, just comment it down in the box below. Come on, you can type.
Come on. I love that
it's not that hard to do.
I love that you're selling out on my channel. But
that's what good friends do.
That's what friends are for. But
yeah, so you don't have to.
So to YouTube, thank you. You already know that. Apple Podcasts, same thing. If you have a film you want us to see, let us know. Amazon, you too. And for our new Amazon listeners, see ya. That's it.
You want to know what would be cool? If Amazon let us review one of their new shows.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon, I'm working for you, so I mean, if you want, you have the podcast on your channel, so if you want more Jonathan and I, maybe an Audible sponsorship and giving those around.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you all later.
See ya.
See you later.